What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Yak Pack Outdoors. This is episode 2 of Underwater Action. That's what I'm going to call this little mini series right here. I'm going to try to do one video a week of this Underwater Action series, and it's going to be driven by you guys. So comment down below what specific lures or anything like that. What do you want to see? Keep in mind, I'm working with this. I'm working with a little 10-foot pool. I think it's like 3 foot deep or something like that. So I won't be able to do a whole lot of crazy stuff. But if you want to see the action of a specific kind of soft plastic or something like that, or even a jig or something, let me know. I'll put it right here in this pool, make an episode for you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some more underwater footage today. But today we're going to be doing big worms, huge worms. So before we get started, here we have a KVD 10-inch bullworm in a June bug color. And this is one of my favorite colors. It's one of my go-to colors when black and red is not hitting or black and blue is not hitting. I always fall back to a June bug. This thing is really thick and it looks really durable. All right, next up we have a standard 10.5-inch Zoom curly tail worm. It's my all-time go-to favorite color, black and red. Can never go wrong with black and red. And next up we have a V&M Wild Thing series. This thing is almost a cross between a Senko and a curly tail worm, but it's not a curly tail. It's just it's flattened out. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna do all 3 of these with a 1/4 ounce Wu Tungsten flipping weight first. 5/0 EWG Gamakatsu hook. Now when you're fishing big worms like this, you wanna upsize your hook to kind of compensate for it. All right, so right here we have the KVD 10-inch June bug colored bullworm with a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight on it. And my initial impressions of this is you don't really need a weight because this thing is thick. It's big, it floats down just like a Senko if you notice that. It's got that little side-to-side quiver to it. Not a ton of action on this thing, so I would imagine this is, probably better for those the bigger bass that are a lot more finicky, that just see a big meal in front of their face and they'll munch it. All right, so here we got the 10.5-inch Zoom curly tail worm with a 1/4 ounce Wu Tungsten flipping weight on it, and man, the action on this thing is crazy. No matter if you're reeling it or if you're popping it or you're dragging it, that tail is kicking around everywhere and just swirling. And this will definitely get you those reaction bites. It'll definitely entice those bass to strike at it, without a doubt. So here's the V&M Wild Thing, little flat tail Senko looking thing. This is a 8.5-inch, and it's got a Wu Tungsten 1/4 ounce weight hooked up with it right now. And it doesn't really have a ton of action on it, I've caught a bunch of fish on it, but it's just not kicking around and everything like I thought it would. At least not with this weight on it. All right, so now we're moving back to the 10-inch KVD June bug colored bullworm, and it is weightless. Now this thing is heavy and thick, like I've said, so you don't need to wait for this. There's no way. You don't need to wait for this. The rate of descent on this thing is exactly what a Senko would be. Even though it's heavy and thick, it's slow and methodical. It's got that little wiggle to it, just like a Senko would, even with no weight on it. That thing just flutters down nice and slow. This is where you're gonna get a lot of your reaction bites with this thing coming down as slow as it does. Man, that looks good. Nice and slow. Almost like a big old earthworm that made his way into the water and he's dying. All right, now we're moving back to the weightless 10.5-inch curly tail Zoom worm in my all-time favorite color, black and red. Let's give it a look. That tail is going crazy, just like it did with the weight on it. Just not as much because you got that weight on there to pull it around. I feel comfortable fishing it weightless. Like I said in the previous video, I don't really like to fish weightless unless I absolutely have to, but I definitely don't mind doing it if the situation calls for it. You could almost probably even swim this thing through the water. Tail kicking around like that. Moving on to the V&M Wild Thing series, almost like a Senko flat tail Senko thing. I don't know. Weightless. Let's check this out. To be honest, I mean, it quivers down like a Senko would without a weight on it. But you know, it really doesn't have a ton of action on it like you would think. The tail is a little flimsy. I noticed when a few of the fish that I've caught on them, you know, some of the smaller ones, I'll miss a bite and I'll pitch right back into where I just missed the fish at, and the tail will be bit off. It's got a real flimsy tail. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm definitely a believer in it because I've definitely caught fish on it. It sinks faster than the KVD and the Zoom worm. Definitely. I guess the harder you tweak your pole, the better action you get out of this one. Not too bad. Alright guys, so overall, not bad, not bad. I think if I had to pick one out of those three, I would probably stick with that 10.5 inch Zoom curly tail worm. You can, you know, like I was saying, you can drag it, you can twitch it, you can reel it, and you're gonna get all kinds of different action out of that thing. So that's my favorite out of the two. Comment down below which one is your favorite, and what would you like to see me do in this pool next. So Russell and I are extremely thankful for all of you that watch our videos. You know, you take personal time out of your day to tune in and watch our videos. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for more. Like I said earlier in this video, comment below what is a lure that you want to see me use in this pool. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Let YakPak Outdoors earn your subscription. Alright guys, with all that being said, catch you guys next time.